you good to go?
Yes. I feel really privileged and honored to be able to speak to you from South Africa. One, obviously, this is like the coolest place ever. God has just poured out His love on me during my time here. And so I study sports science at New Mexico State University and had the opportunity to get more hands-on experience in my final semester. I have been working alongside a professor here. She specializes in disabilities. She's a sports science professor at the university in Stellenbosch, and she coaches Paralympic athletes. So the athletes that she works with are sprinters, and they've competed at the Paralympic Games in Beijing, in London, and are now preparing for Rio 2016. So just the opportunity to combine South Africa and sports for my final semester was the biggest dream come true. So it's been such a blast. And the Lord has just really used this time to just draw me away and to come away with Him and let Him just show me who He is. And so He's just continued to just bring me into greater intimacy with Him. But it's been such a crucial and a point for me, and that the Lord, with the work that the Lord really began doing in my heart this time last year, and then continuing to do that work in Impact, and where He really began to just draw me and bring me into His freedom and what it meant to receive His love for me. Because I always knew that He loved me. You know, growing up in a Christian home, you always hear that Jesus died for you and that, you know, all that good stuff. But it never occurred to me that I had to receive that I had to, you know, pursue those truths and declare them over my life. And so since this summer, the Lord has just really been, you know, pushing me to really just to believe those truths and to walk out in those realities and not letting fear of man or fear of rejection control me. In 2011, I worked at a Christian sports camp called Kids Across America, and there the Lord just really gave me a heart for America's inner city youth. And it was just something just about them that's so unique and so special and really just resonated with me. And the biggest thing is that seeing that these kids have so much potential and that they're God's children, and just Him giving me a heart for them and just being able to perceive the depth of His love for them, and just seeing that there's such a disparity between the opportunities that were extended to me and what is made available for them. And so God has just over the years just developed me to aid in just seeing America's inner city youth be raised up into Christian leaders, and to bridge the gap between them as students in high school and seeing them being able to continue their dreams and their passions post-graduation point, and just seeing the Lord's vision for them come through in that way, and seeing His kingdom brought into the inner city. And so this next year, whenever I get back to the States, I'm moving to Austin to begin a 15-month internship with the church called the Austin Stone, and I'll be in part receiving biblical training. The other part, I will be working with a nonprofit organization called RBI, which stands for Reviving Baseball in the Inner City. They use baseball, obviously, and long-term mentor relationships as a means of discipleship to raise these kids up into transformational leaders for Christ within their communities. And so it's such a unique platform in that they really just focus so much on discipleship and so much into investing and pouring into these kids' lives, to see them not just engaged athletically, but academically and spiritually and from a holistic perspective. I am so excited about it because it's just the heart of discipleship, which God has just really just opened my eyes to, and just seeing the importance that it plays in advancing His kingdom. And discipleship, you know, requires us to step into other people's lives. And, you know, for so many of us, we we put up walls and we protect ourselves so that we can keep people at a distance because we're afraid that if they see us for who we truly are, we'll be rejected and that they can't love us. But the thing is that Jesus and his sacrifice and his righteousness is what clothes us. And so that when God looks at us, all that he sees is Christ's righteousness. And because of that, we can go out as disciples and to make disciples, knowing that we can invest in the lives of others, because the people that we pour into and who pour into us, they can see us in our brokenness because we know that we have Christ's approval, that even my brokenness before man does not unravel my wholeness before God. And I think the heart of discipleship is to step into people's lives, even if they're broken, and to get into the messiness, because that's what real life is about, and coming alongside someone, and not just in one area of their life, but in every single area of life, because we want to see people be transformed completely for the sake of Christ, and discipleship is the means to do that. If I could encourage anybody in anything is, to put aside our own effort and to run to the one who claims us as his own, as his bride, as his children, as his delight. Because when he looks at us, he doesn't see our sin, he doesn't see our mistakes, but he sees us as his righteousness, as his children. We have an inheritance in him. And so, yeah, I think my biggest encouragement to anyone would just to be I dare you to stop and to go to him and let him tell you who you are, because I promise you your life isn't going to be the same, because he wants you, he wants to draw you closer to him. And the thing is, we have to receive that. We have to pursue those truths, and it's one thing to believe it, but it's another thing to receive it.